Fox Sports.
We are La Force. We are Minnesota.
It's leadership, it's professionalism, it's veterans. There's a lot of things that we're going to need to lean on here. It always seems a little more dire when you're in the moment. You got to find a way to dig yourself out. This game is about, people that can rebound when you get kind of entrenched to a little bit of a hole, and we're going to have to try to find a way to respond. That's just how the game goes.
The Twins are hoping a return to Target Field sparks a turnaround starting tonight in Game 1 of a 4-game series against the visiting Baltimore Orioles. Welcome to Target Field, everyone. I'm Audra Martin. After posting a disappointing 1-8 record, the Twins players agree this last road trip felt a lot longer than just 9 games. But the good news is now they're back at home, and they're about to kick off an 11-game homestand that includes 2 opponents with sub-500 records, and that starts tonight against Baltimore. Here's a few things to keep in mind for this 4-game series this weekend. While the outcome wasn't what they wanted, the offense did come up with another 23 extra base hits on that road trip. That means over 40% of their hits have been for extra bases so far this season. They'll look to add to it tonight against last place Baltimore, but compared to other divisions, the Orioles have done the best against the AL Central. Overall, they average 3.62 runs per game, but that jumps up to 4 against AL Central. And of course, facing Baltimore means having to face Manny Machado, and keeping him inside the park is not an easy task. He has 21 home runs so far and 126 over his last 4 seasons. It will be up to Aaron Slager to keep him quiet tonight in the series opener. Coming up, Dick Bramer and Bert Blyleven take a look at how the young right-hander can make the most of his latest opportunity.
By CenturyLink, connecting you to the power of the digital world. By Sanford Orthopedics and Sports sports medicine for the everyday competitor in all of us. And by Northland Ford. Visit buyfordnow.com and your local Northland Ford dealer today. It's a beautiful summer night at a beautiful ballpark, and the start of the longest homestand of the year, the first of 4 between the Twins and the Baltimore Orioles. The Baltimore Orioles, led by Adam Jones, they are having a very difficult season on the field, and the Twins, of course, led by Joe Mauer, and they too having a tough time on the field this year. Joe Mauer with a wonderful batting average in his career against the Baltimore Orioles. And we welcome you to Target Field. Dick Bramer along with Bert Blyleven, who has weeks and weeks worth of pent-up energy and
I'm ready to go. Let's go. We need some
ready
wins.
to go. Now, this is an 11-game homestand for the Twins, which means this spot in the rotation will come up 3 times on this homestand, and it's a great opportunity for Aaron Slegers to establish himself at this level.
Yeah, Aaron Slegers got his feet wet last year, 2017. He made 3 starts, a couple very good ones. One against the Indians in his first major league start. His only appearance so far this year, that came out of the bullpen back in Kansas City on May 30th. They needed somebody to go deep after Fernando Romero only worked into the 2nd inning. He did that, 5 1/3, very good innings.
When the Twins opened the season in Baltimore this year, there was a lot of speculation as to whether Manny Machado would even be with the Orioles when the Orioles made the return trip to Minnesota here in early July. He's here and he is raking.
I'll tell you what, this young man going to be 26 years old tomorrow. He has put up incredible numbers throughout his career, already in the running for who's going to represent the American League as far as shortstops. My pick is this guy right here. Yes, he's also a very good third baseman, but now he wants to play short, and he is producing like better than any shortstop in the American League.
The Twins, unfortunately, have a long climb to get back to the 500 mark, and they'd like to take the first steps toward that climb during this homestand. To say the road trip was not kind to the Twins, who now sit 12 games back in the Central. Minnesota returns to Target Field, hoping some home cooking can help them inch their way back into the race. Can the Twins take advantage of some winnable games? A very important 11-game homestand begins now. And Aaron Slegers, all 6'10" of him, takes the mound as the Twins hope to get this homestand started on the right foot. And Slegers, who got a win last year in his brief trial in the big leagues. And Buck Showalter has seen the season go about as poorly as a season could go. And the Twins took 2 out of 3 against the Orioles to start the season. That was the beginning of the end of the Orioles season. Here's the Menards batting order for the Baltimore Orioles. Tim Beckham, followed by Adam Jones, then Manny Machado, Mark Trumbo, Chris Davis, Danny Valencia, Jonathan Scope, Trey Mancini, and Caleb Joseph. And they'll all face the 6'10 Sluggers, who pitched a good ball game. He did not get the win, but he did pitch a good ball game in his first start last year.
Yeah, that against the Indians. Let's take a look at tonight's starting pitcher stats are brought to you by Home Furniture. Aaron Sluggers making his 4th career start. And we mentioned he pitched very well out of the bullpen. This is his 3rd stint with the Twins, once in April and then in late May. Now he's back up. Hopefully we'll have a solid start here tonight.
And the first pitch down and away, ball 1 to Beckham. Jones and Machado will follow.
Yeah, Tim Laudner kind of gave a little bit of a scouting report in the pregame show about Sluggers. He's not overpowering. He's not going to blow anybody away. He has to hit his spots. Great angle if he can generate from that 6'10" frame you talked about, Dick.
And you'll see velocity, that's 90. It might get up a tick or 2 above that, but the advantage he has is because of his height and the long stride. The release point is actually significantly out in front where it would normally be for a pitcher. Tapped foul again at 90 miles per hour. So what is 90 in effect can be like 93 or 94.
Well, not only the long legs right there creating that 6'10" frame, the long arms too. It's almost like he can put the ball into Wilson's glove, and hopefully the hitter doesn't break his fingers.
2-1 to Beckham. Lifted foul. It'll reach the seats. 2-2. Good to have you back, partner. You had some time off. I'm sure you recreated, golfed, cruised,
yeah.
Did all the things that those of us who work for a living.
I miss doing the game.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, I do.
Well, good to have you back.
Well, Beckham in his 2nd season with the Orioles, just 28 years old, coming over from the Tampa Bay Rays. Basically a fastball swinger.
Picked up by Escobar. Over to Morrison, 1 away. Take a look at the Northland Ford defense for the Twins. In the outfield, it's Rosario, Cave, and Kepler across. And in the infield, Escobar, Polanco, Dozier, and Morrison. Bauer's the designated hitter, and Bobby Wilson will catch Aaron Sluggers.
Yeah, it's kind of disappointing what the Orioles are going through. We're going to show you some numbers on the screen of some of the hitters that have not produced. Now, a couple guys still are. Adam Jones, one of those guys, and then Manny Machado. But after that, a lot of low batting averages.
Down and away again, ball 1. Jones in the last year of his deal. A lot of speculation about Jones and Machado and what might happen to them by the end of this month. Strike, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, Jones 32 years old now with the Seattle Mariners he came up with back in 2006 in his 11th season with the Orioles. 5-time All-Star.
Tapper to short. And Sluggers starts his night with a couple of ground ball outs.
Let's take a look at the scouting report on Aaron Sluggers. Young 25-year-old making just his 4th major league start. He relies on movement. When he's down, and he's already seen a couple ground ball outs. He has a sharp slider, utilizing his height with that angle toward home plate, and then take advantage of the opportunity. As you mentioned, Dick, 3 times this spot comes up in this homestand. If he pitches well here today, maybe he'll get another opportunity.
Twins last time this spot came up gave the ball to Adalberto Mejia, and he had a short start in the heat at Wrigley Field. So short the bullpen was used, and the Twins had to get Mejia out of the 25-man roster, off the 25-man roster, to get some bullpen help. And the way the rules are, Mejia can't be brought back until 10 days are up. So yeah, this is a golden opportunity for Sluggers to step in. And if he pitches well, presumably the Twins will at least consider using him again later in this homestand. To right center field, deep toward the gap, and that ball is high off the wall. Machado with a 2-out double.
Well, and that's the way you want to face Machado. You know, I mean, right there, got the 2 outs, and now you're facing a very hot hitter. in Machado with 2 outs. Okay, hit a double. Now your goal is to get Mark Trumbo out right here. 18th double of the year for Machado. You can see the strength that he can generate. That ball kind of middle in, and he's a guy that will use the whole field. Didn't try to pull that ball. So you're getting the barrel of the bat on that baseball, high off the wall.
See, that's why he's in such high demand, and that's why he'll get a 9-figure contract sometime over the winter. That was a pitch that was on the inside corner, and he drove it hard to the opposite field. Down and away, ball 1 to Mark Trumbo. And Machado, even though he is, as you said, just 25, turning 26 tomorrow, he's matured so much as a hitter, and it's that type of maturity that the Twins are hoping to see from some of their young hitters, some of whom aren't even here. And a strike at the knees, 1-1.
Well, the Orioles come into this ball game hitting only .227 as a ball club. That's the lowest average as a team in the American League and all of baseball.
Swing and a miss, up and in.
They strike out a lot, but they do when they can swing the bat and make good contact. They can hit the long ball. They have 99 home runs on the year. Look, Showalter, his contract is up at the end of the year. A lot of people wondering where he's headed.
Fouled away into the seats.
Can a manager be a free agent like a player? I guess you.
Well,
can
that's
be.
basically what he is, and there's all sorts of speculation as to where he'll be. Might be with the Orioles, but it might be in a different capacity because Dan Duquette, the general manager, he is in the last year of his agreement with the Angelos family. 1-2 to Trumbo. Drilled to center.
Stay up.
And Cave catches a line drive out. Machado left at second. No score after 1. Equally as successful homestand. I mean, like off the charts good. And Paul Molitor realizing that his team has a long ways to go to get back to the 500 mark. He'll send out this Menard's batting order for the opener. Joe Mauer in the DH spot, then Eddie Rosario, Brian Dozier, Eduardo Escobar, Logan Morrison, Jorge Polanco, Max Kepler, Jake Cave, and then Bobby Wilson.
And tonight's starting pitcher stats are brought to you by Home Furniture, and that'll be Andrew Cashner making his second appearance against the Twins this year, his second start. He lost to Kyle Gibson in Game 2 of the season in Baltimore back on March 31st, making his 17th start.
Mauer, Rosario, and Dozier, and Mauer takes up an away ball 1. Twins were walked off the game before. The Twins came back and beat Cashner by hitting 3 home runs. Miguel Sano, Jason Castro, and Max Kepler all homered against Cashner. Strike on the outside corner, 1-1.
Cashner, not an overpowering pitcher, relies on movement, four-seam, two-seam fastball. When he's on, he's got a very good slider and then also a knuckle curveball.
Spent some time on the disabled list earlier this year with some back issues. That's part of the ongoing struggle that the Orioles have had over the last couple of years, really.
He has not had a lot of run support either. The 2-8 record shows that. ERA not bad at 4.4.
1-2 to Mauer. Tapper, right side, easy play for Scope. And Mauer's retired, one away. Now the Orioles middle of the pack defensively in terms of number of errors. Jones has lost some speed at center. Danny Valencia is in right. Trey Mancini in left. Beckham at third. Machado's moved to short this year. Scope up the middle with him. Davis better than average fielding first baseman. And Caleb Joseph behind the plate. One down, and Eddie Rosario will bat. Tapper back to the mound, and an easy play for Cashner. 2 down.
Let's take a look at our Pizza Ranch for the win here tonight. How the Twins going to beat the Orioles? Well, of course, I could say, you got to outscore them. If we score more runs than the Orioles, we're going to win.
That's the type of perspective we look at.
I think patience at the plate, especially for right-handed hitters. Now, Cashner giving up a .309 batting average to right-handed hitters. Left-handers hitting .256. And then Twins, you know what? They had an ugly road trip, but there were a lot of plays in that road trip that not hitting the cutoff man, little things that the Twins need to tighten up on defensively.
Brian Dozier takes a strike. You talked about showing some patience at the plate. Rosario saw just one pitch. And of course, Cashner can control some of that if he gets ahead, strike one. Strike two.
Control has been a little bit of an issue for Cashner. 40 walks in 88 in the third innings coming into this ballgame. He's given up 99 hits. So a lot of base runners. 71 strikeouts, averaging about 7 strikeouts per 9 innings.
1-2.
Was a free agent over the winter. 31 years old, signed a 2-year contract with the Orioles for an option for 2020.
1-2 from Cashner to Dozier. And a swing and a
slider.
And a very good first inning for Andrew Cashner as the Twins go down 1-2-3.
As we head into the second inning, it's time to bring you some scoop from the clubhouse. Paul Molitor says he hopes Aaron Slegers isn't looking at this as a one-game spot start. He could definitely earn another opportunity next week. He says they went with Slegers instead of Fernando Romero because Romero is more of a reset situation more than just a one game and then come back up to the Twins. Brian Dozier was asked about the fact that 7 of these next 11 games come against sub-500 teams. He says on paper they might be below 500, but if you think that you're guaranteed to win, that's when you start having bigger problems. And the Twins assigned a first-round pick, Trevor Larnach, earlier today. Paul Molitor said it was fun to talk baseball, even though you can't really relate to him because he signed about 40 years ago, guys.
We'll have Trevor with us in the 4th inning to talk about the signing and the start of his professional career. Thank you, Audra. Good play by Escobar with Davis hitting it off the end of the bat and a little counter spin. He knocked it down and threw him out.
Yeah, you know, Escobar was kind of shaded towards shortstop, and Davis right off the end of the bat, a lot of spin on that ball, and Escobar made a nice play, knocked it down, and got the first out of Davis at first.
1 down, and now Danny Valencia. And Valencia takes a strike.
Had a chance before the ball game to talk to Danny. He became a father for the first time about 6 weeks ago. Little baby boy. Very happy about that. Former Twin, signed by the Twins back in 2006 at the University of Miami.
Twins played him at third base. He's played some first base, now getting some time in the outfield, and you wonder, given his reputation of being a really good hitter against left-handed pitchers, whether Valencia might be tradable by month's end. He's become kind of a journeyman player, bounced around quite a bit in recent years.
Well, 7 different major league teams Valencia has played for. The Orioles, this is his second go around with Baltimore, is also with the Orioles back in 2013.
Softly hit, and Dozier had to squint through the sunlight that was going through the frame of the ballpark. You can see him kind of put his hand up trying to fight the sun a little bit. 2 down.
Yeah, nice play right there. You can see where that sun is coming down and going onto the field. But Brian right here just kind of jams Valencia. Brian fighting the sun. Good concentration for the second out.
Thankfully, he kind of drifted over into the shadowed area of the field. 2 down, and now Jonathan Schoop really having a disappointing year for the Orioles at the plate, hitting just .202. Fly ball right center field.
Quick inning.
Very
nice
quick inning. Kepler waits, and Slegers comes off the mound after a 1-2-3 second inning. Get something done against Andrew Cashner, Escobar, Morrison, and Polanco.
Cashner only 9 pitches, 7 for strikes for a 1-2-3 bottom of the first inning.
Pulled foul, 1 strike. Well, Cashner's had his moments. This is his 17th start of the first 16. Half of them have been quality starts. 6 innings, 3 earned runs or less. But as you mentioned, just hasn't had much in the way of run support.
Yeah, his run support noted at 2.73 run support average, which is the 3rd lowest in baseball. So yeah, you can go out there and change speeds, like good changeup right there, keep your club in the game. But boy, you like to win those games 6-1 sometimes rather than have to worry about a 1-0 or 2-1 win. They have not come for him with a 2-8 record.
Pitches up to Escobar, 1-2. It's well in front of the plate.
Cashner just making his 3rd career start against the Twins. His first one coming last year with the Rangers. He ended up losing 8-1. And his start earlier this year in his first major league start in an Oriole uniform back on May 31st. So 0-2 in his career against the Twins.
Fouled back again. Signed a 2-year deal with the Orioles. They went out and tried to bolster their rotation with veteran starters, much like the Twins did, with Jake Odorizzi coming over in a trade. Lance Lynn signed as a free agent. Alex Cobb also signed. There's a pitch outside. Cobb will pitch here on Thursday, or on a Sunday, I should say.
I know one thing that I read. I know back in spring training on Roger McDowell, the pitching coach for Buck Showalter, was really working on a slider in spring training.
Off-speed pitch and a roller to Scope, and Davis with a stretch, 1 away. 1 down in the second. Morrison to the plate. Now it's time for Lowe's whole team together, focusing on the Twins' highest win percentage against AL opponents since 2015. Since Paul Molitor took over, as you saw in an earlier graphic, he is 15-8 against the Orioles. 1 year he ran the table, won all 7 games against the Orioles. 2 out of 3 in the opening series of the year back in March and early April. Here is Morrison. Up and away, ball 1. Lots been made of the Orioles' poor record and the fact that they're already 33.5 games out of first place in their division. What's maybe more telling as to where they're at as a franchise, they're 15.5 games out of 4th. The Toronto Blue Jays are in 4th place, 6 games below 500, and the Orioles are 15.5 games behind them. A liner to right, and making the catch in right field is Valencia. 2 down. 5 up, 5 down for Cashner.
Yeah, Morrison hit it right on the button, but it's a line drive out.
And with 2 down, Jorge Polanco will come to the plate on his 25th birthday. Polanco played in 3 games in Milwaukee. Looked to be in mid-season form, which you'd expect in early July, but he missed the first 80 games.
I missed first 80 games with PEDs and you know, that major league drug policy put him on the shelf, and he knows he made a mistake, and now he wants his teammates to accept that, okay, I took my punishment, now you got to move on. I think we've seen that from a lot of the players from the Dominican Republic that have run into that issue.
1-1. To right center field, and Valencia to the gap, can't make the play, and Polanco has another extra base hit. It's a 2-out double. And so far, Polanco, after his return to the lineup, 4 for 12 with 2 doubles.
Yeah, that sun out in right field, maybe a little bit difficult to watch the flight of the ball game. Danny Valencia, again, more of an infielder than an outfielder, but playing right field, went to his left, excuse me, to his right here. Polanco fought it off with high fastball. Valencia went after the ball just out of Danny's reach. And it's a double, so 2 of these 4 hits that Polanco has have been extra base hits, 2 doubles.
And now Kepler. And he takes strike 1. Kepler hitting under 200 against right-handed pitching. Down and away, and it's 1-1.
Hitting only .219 on the year. You know, we're going to look at this 4-game series at certain hitters saying, boy, come on, guys, you're better than that. And Max Kepler is better than a .219 hitter.
Kepler takes 2-1.
Kepler last year in 147 ball games hit .243. You could see his splits.
Career .239 hitter coming into the year. Two and 1. 3-1. Jake Cave on deck. What a gorgeous night. The weather, for the most part, is supposed to be just beautiful summer weather here, and this still is one of the best ballparks in America.
Well, look for a fastball away right here. Kepler's got to hit it back up the middle. Breaking ball.
He took it for a strike.
Wow, good pitch on a 3-1 pitch. It went to a slow breaking ball in a fastball count. Cashner's been around the block. This is his 154th major league start. A lot of innings, almost 1,000 innings under his belt.
Tap to the right side.
Good changeup.
And Scope throws to first. Polanco stranded at second. No score after 2. Wild, bald, and golden eagles in their natural habitat at the National Eagle Center, located in Wabasha, Minnesota. Many eagles migrate there for the winter to take advantage of the open water and abundant food resources. You can find endless ideas for the perfect getaway at exploreminnesota.com and share your favorites with #OnlyInMN. Trey Mancini will lead off the third for Baltimore, and he takes inside ball 1. Now getting to Wabasha is easy. You go to Red Wing, you keep going on 61, and you keep going and keep going, and if you got to Kellogg, you went too far. And a breaking ball over for a strike, 1-1. Mancini, Joseph, and Beckham in the Oriole third. side, a swing and a miss.
Yeah, Mancini in his second full season with the Orioles last year almost won the Rookie of the Year award. Came in second behind Aaron Judge with the Yankees. Hit .293 last year.
And a pitch inside, and it got Mancini, and he'll walk to first. A hit batter to start the third inning.
First hit batsman for Slagers here in the big leagues this season. Two-seam fastball. Got the right shoulder of Mancini.
And now Caleb Joseph. He and Chance Sisco are sharing the catching duties for Baltimore. And over for a first pitch strike. The one thing that I think has impressed Twins field staff in the minor leagues as Sluggers has worked his way through. At 6'10", ball lifted to right field, and Kepler with a diving catch in short right field. Max Kepler takes a hit away from Caleb Joseph with a fine diving catch.
Boy, those diving catches become so important throughout a ball game, but it's the first couple steps that Kepler's able to do to get to that ball. So good job, good read for Kepler as this ball kind of slices away from him. You can see getting a good jump, diving for it, and coming up with a very nice diving catch.
One down, and now Beckham.
Look at the concentration right there. Ball in the middle of the glove.
Beckham hit a ground ball to third his first time up. There's a check swing. They'll appeal and strike one. With Sluggers at 6'10", he uses what God has given him. I mean, he's got an overhand delivery, which is, I think, what you would want if you're 6'10". Now, Chris Sale is 6'10", and he kind of wings it low 3/4, and obviously that's working for him. But rare is the pitcher who can deliver the ball from, you were talking about downward plane all the time. I mean, could there be more of a downward plane than an overhand pitcher at 6'10"?
Yeah, planes and angles, baby, because he can really generate that downward plane if he stays back and allows his arm to catch up.
Half swing, another strike.
It's a good slider right there.
And we've made the comps before. Sluggers has a similar build. Chris Young, who was a really good pitcher for a long time at 6'10". I don't know that he, toward the end, threw harder than 86, 87, but he had great success pitching up in the zone because of the downward plane.
And he changed speeds extremely well, as Sluggers has to. See the two-seam fastball right there. That ran in on Beckham at 90 miles an hour.
2-2 to Beckham.
A 15-game winner last year, a 5-game winner for Rochester this year.
And the Twins minor league pitcher of the year last year. Swing and a miss. And Beckham heads back to the dugout. First strikeout for Sluggers, 2 down. And the DQ combo. Cashner at 6'5", Sluggers at 6'10".
How much is that total?
13-3 it says there.
Very good. Tallest starting. I know, I saw it. Tallest starting pitcher matchup in this year. I would imagine every time he pitches there's going to be that comparison. Shades of Randy Johnson when he pitched.
Here's Adam Jones. Outside ball one. Jones with a bouncer to short his first time up.
How tall was John Roush?
6'11", I believe. Closed ball games for the Twins for half a season. And Jones swings at a pitch up and in,
which he does a lot of. This guy does not get cheated. He doesn't walk much. He's up there to do one thing, and that's to drive the ball in the gap or over the fence. Jones with 261 career home runs.
and now a breaking ball following that up and in fastball.
John Roush was 6'11".
He's the tallest player in Major League Baseball history. Good slider right there.
And Slegers ahead of Jones, 1-2. And Jones lays off the breaking ball to even the count. Does not want to face Machado with a couple of men on base here in the third. And now it's a full count, and Mancini will leave early from first.
Wilson going out there patting his glove, letting the defense know there's 3-2. Run will be taken off here.
And Slegers got the attention, or Morrison got the attention of Slegers, saying he's not holding the runner on. And Jones takes ball 4, and now just what we talked about will happen. Machado to the plate with 2 men on.
With a slider right there, just missed down and away the first walk for Slegers.
A threat without the benefit of a hit. The only Oriole hit came off the bat of Machado in the first inning, a double off the scoreboard in right center. Jones at first and Mancini at second. Breaking ball hit the corner, strike one.
Good slider right there. Take a look at this good breaking ball. Wilson holding it.
Chop to the right side. Slegers has got to get over there. Morrison feeds him, inning over. And Slegers does a nice job facing Baltimore's best hitter and stranding 2 runners.
Well, there's only a couple pitches to Machado, but I thought the first pitch, good slider right here. Now remember his first at bat, he hit a high fastball for the double. That time it was that 2-seamer down, and Machado kind of inside outed that to make the third out. So good pitch right there by Slegers.
Jake Cave will lead off the third for the Twins, and he takes strike 1. And we Cave, Wilson, and Mauer in the third. Fouled away, 2 strikes. Two strikes to the Twin center fielder. That's driven to the gap in left center. It'll be chased by Mancini, and he won't get there. Big 2-out hit for Cave. And he'll round second and slam on the brakes. A leadoff double with Cave hitting the ball to the opposite field.
I tell you what, that was a beautiful swing right there because the breaking ball looked like it stayed up, and Cave didn't try to pull it. He just went with it. It really showed his strength. For Cave, about 6 foot, about 200 pounds. Watch this pitch right here. That's not a bad pitch, but weighted back nicely, and you can see releasing the bat right there, and the ball hitting the gap in deep left center. So Cave, a leadoff double, his third double of the year. Second hit for the Twins, both doubles.
And now Bobby Wilson, the number 9 batter.
See if he has to bunt right here. Bobby, a veteran, he knows what he needs to do right here. And these are the little things we said we need to clean up. And this is what Paul Molitor, I think, wants to see his club do a better job of, is advancing that runner at second base with nobody out.
Didn't have a good road trip, hitless in 14 at bats, and the average is down to 120.
There
Chopped
you
to
go.
the right side.
There you go.
And the ball dropped, and now here comes Cave from third base, and the Twins will get a run, and the ball rolls into the dugout. Wilson will not only reach, he'll get second base.
Yeah, Cashner was a little late getting over there, and the throw a little bit high, and the ball gets into the glove and in and out of the glove of Cashner.
Cashner had to jump for the throw, but it was a catchable flip.
Yeah, he's got to make this play right here. Davis just flipping it to him. You can see the throw right there. It took his eye off the ball to try to find the bag. And the ball trickles into the dugout.
The error is given to the pitcher.
Yep, that should be. And Wilson advancing on the air to second base.
And now Mauer. Wilson did what was required, hitting the ball to the right side. Everything that happened after that was a bonus. And Mauer takes strike one over the inside corner.
Well, how many times have we seen that where the hitter has struck out in a situation like that? At least he put the ball in play, and you don't know what might happen, and it worked in the Twins' favor.
Twins in the middle innings yesterday. Finally converted on the third try, but it had 2 earlier opportunities with a runner at second, nobody out, didn't get the run in, and ended up costing them the ball game. 0-2 to Mauer. Inside, 1-2. Inning started with an 0-2 double off the bat of Jake Cave. Drilled to center, and it's knuckling all the way out there to Adam Jones in center. See that ball wobble as it left the infield, 1 down. Friday, July 6th, at University of North Dakota night at Target Field. A limited number of UND theme night ticket packages are available that include a game ticket and green and black Twins cap. You can learn more at twinsbaseball.com/UND or call 800-33-TWINS.
We've seen some line drive outs already. Remember, Trumbo hit that ball sharply to Cave to end the first inning, and then Morrison hit that ball sharply to Valencia, and then right there, Joe Mauer. Great swing, great contact, but right at Andrew Jones.
Rosario was retired on 1 pitch, a comebacker to the mound. And he takes low, ball 1.
Adam Jones, excuse me.
Rosario's seen the batting average climb southward. 307 now.
Came into the ball game 9th in the American League in hitting.
Down and in. The presumption is that Rosario at least will represent the Twins at the All-Star game.
Just going to ask you that.
And then the question within that, I don't believe the field is set for the home run derby, and I don't know that anyone would even ask Eddie Rosario. But can you imagine him in the home run derby? The rounds would be over with quickly. You get to pick who pitches to you, right?
He'd want everything about eye level.
2-1. And he waited and waited and fouled it off. 2-2. Voting for the All-Star game ends at right before midnight. What a gorgeous night at this gorgeous ballpark. The Twins hope to start winning ball games. Haven't won nearly enough of them. 2-2. Fouled back. Another pitch up.
Well, the thing about day baseball, Dick, and Paul Molitor talked about it, you know, you can't bring back yesterday. All you can worry about is from here on out. And yeah, it was a miserable road trip, but hey, you're playing a club right now that has only 24 wins. So these are the teams you have to beat.
And that's been part of the problem too. The Twins lately haven't done a good job of that. They lost 2 out of 3 to the White Sox. Another road trip, lost 2 out of 3 to Kansas City. So we'll see how this plays out here. 4 ball games with the Orioles, then 3 with Kansas City, and then 4 with the Rays. 2-2 to Rosario.
Good.
Sharply hit and a base hit down the line. Wilson will round third. He's going to come home. Rosario held to an RBI single, and it's 2-0 Twins.
Rosario adding to that RBI total, leading the Twins now with 53 runs batted in. We talked about Cave waiting back nicely on that breaking ball, and Rosario got a breaking ball up and didn't try to pull it, just went with it. Watch this pitch right here. Outer half of the plate. Rosario, good piece of hitting right there. Great concentration, lining it down that third base area. And Wilson scores easily. Twins take a 2-0 lead.
Now Brian Dozier, who struck out his first time up. Checked his swing. Did he check in time? He did. Ball 1. That was close. Rosario checked back at the bag.
Rosario with 6 stolen bases in 8 attempts.
And a strike call, 1-1. Down and in, and it's 2-1. A deep drive to left field, to the corner. Mancini with room, still on the outfield grass, makes the catch, and that's out number 2.
Yeah, Bryant just got underneath that.
Bryant thought he had a home run in the 9th inning yesterday, but the showstopper was turned in by Keon Broxton.
Yeah, Broxton made a great catch, leaping catch, robbing Brian Dozier of that home run in the 9th inning. Then Escobar followed with a solo home run, made it a 3-2 ball game, and that was the final score. He made a couple great catches in that series. Broxton did.
Yeah, he may have robbed Joe Mauer of a home run earlier, maybe an extra base hit. It was at that angled part of the outfield wall at Miller Park. 1 strike to Escobar, bounced out to second, his first time up. Just outside, 1-1. Escobar with 13 home runs.
50 pitches now for Cashner. 33 strikes.
Sky to center, and retreating is Jones. Twins take a 2-0 lead in the third. Number 1 draft pick, newest member of the Twins family, Trevor Larnach, will join us when we come back. The third inning, and now Aaron Slangers will pitch with a lead for the first time tonight. Trevor Larnach won a national championship with Oregon State University. Prior to winning the championship, was the first-round pick for the Minnesota Twins, 20th overall. Bats left, throws right, and he's on his way to Elizabethton, Tennessee, to start his professional career. He signed his professional contract today.
He's here with us now.
He's here with us right now. Trevor, congratulations. I know you're itching to get that professional career started, and it all started with signing a contract today. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, and thanks for having me. It's been a special day. First time in Minnesota, and it's been a joy.
What do you think about this ballpark?
I think it's beautiful. You know, I talked to some of the guys down on the field, and I asked Joe how he likes hitting here, and he said the wind swirls, so I see it coming in from left and blowing out to right. So it's pretty cool to ask these guys and talk to them, and they've all been really cool to me. So it's been an awesome experience.
Trevor, I met you before the game during batting practice, and I said, did the Twins ask you to take BP here? Your response was?
No, I didn't get the chance today, but you know, I'm hoping I can do it in the near future.
Yeah, but you want to do it in a major league uniform.
Yeah, exactly. Every day, not just one day.
That's right. That's right.
Mark Trumbo, the batter, 0-2 pitch in the dirt. Well, Trevor, when I talked with you during batting practice, when you were watching the likes of Mauer and guys like that take batting practice, you said it's pretty much been nothing but schoolwork in baseball, and you're probably really looking forward to not dealing with schoolwork anymore.
Yeah, instead of schoolwork, it's going to be taking care of your body and staying healthy and making sure you're taking care of yourself. So I'm excited for that. I can't wait to get going, and it's like I said, it's been awesome to be here.
Trumbo goes down on strike. Second strikeout for Aaron Slangers.
Tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into baseball and how you ended up at Oregon State and generally your passion for the game of baseball.
All right. Well, I grew up playing a few sports. I played, obviously baseball. I played basketball. I played a couple of years of football in middle school. I don't think that really counts, but my parents, they grew me up playing multiple sports and played at baseball and basketball throughout high school. And my sophomore year, I was fortunate enough to have Oregon State come to me, and they were the first team to come. And once my family and I visited the campus and talked to the coaches and all that, it was I fell in love with it. But nice.
And Cave makes a great catch up against the wall in center field. Tracked it, got to the wall, and at the very top of his leap, he made the catch.
Outstanding catch right there by Jake Cave. He timed his leap at 6 foot tall perfectly. and it was high enough to allow Jake Cave to get back to the point of where he thought that ball was going to come down. Great catch.
Well, Trevor, you can appreciate that. You're an outfielder by trade.
Oh yeah, hell of a play. I'm lucky to see that in person. It's definitely.
Got a motto here when Byron Buxton's out there in center, Kepler in right, Rosario in left. Nothing falls but raindrops. So I want to ask you about your defense. You obviously are a great hitter, an accomplished hitter, but how strong is your defensive game, your throwing arm, and all that?
I think it's I've worked on it throughout the past years, and I don't really care what anybody tells me about my arm or the defense. I've heard a bunch of different things. I think I got a good arm and can play the outfield pretty well. Got good first step reads and can track it pretty well. And there's still more work to do, obviously, but I can't wait to get started with the Twins.
Yeah, I want to congratulate your parents too, because it's one thing that I talk about from time to time about playing multi-sports growing up, not just concentrating. There's so many travel teams and all that stuff now just for baseball that
definitely.
You play different sports.
Yeah, definitely. That's just how my parents were growing up too, so I'm sure they'd be happy to hear that. But they grew up playing basketball, volleyball, track, you name it. So they kind of incorporated that to myself, and it's been a fun ride with them.
Escobar charges, fires on the run, and a 1-2-3-4 for Slingers. Just how you're supposed to do it once your team gives you the lead. Sports North is presented by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. Jake Hay with a great catch to allow Aaron Slingers to have a 1-2-3-4 inning. Now the Twins swing the bats in the bottom of the inning. Logan Morrison drives it to left. Mancini retreating. That ball's back and gone. Morrison to the other way. An opposite field home run, his 10th of the year.
Well, we have seen some really good at-bats by the Twins here tonight. Cave taking the ball the other way, left-handed hitter. We saw Rosario with that RBI single. And right there, Morrison not trying to pull it, pitch away, went with it.
Pitch on the outer edge of the plate, and he drove it with authority. And an opposite field home run. You look forward to doing that? I mean, were you? How would you describe yourself as a hitter? Using the whole field, more of a pull hitter, or what?
No, definitely use the whole field. I think the majority of my extra base hits were to left center, and that kind of has to do with my approach and where they were pitching me at the time and all that stuff. But definitely like using the whole field. I'd be struggling quite a bit if I didn't.
Trevor, Pleasant Hill, California. That's where your home is?
Yeah, Pleasant Hill. It's in the Bay Area.
Okay. Did you a Giant fan, A's fan?
Yeah, I grew up a Giants fan. Barry Bonds was playing still at the time, and I was treated with watching him play, and I always looked up to him as a hitter and as one of the best hitters in baseball. So I got treated.
That's not why you're a left-handed batter, though, is it?
No, definitely not. No.
1-2 to Polanco. Doubled his first time up. Now a sharp ground ball on 2 hops to Scope. 1 away. What do you imagine, best case scenario, your acceleration through the system will be? You'll be in Elizabethton, and you're a college guy, so you've got a little bit of an advantage because you're older and more mature. But what do you envision as your timeline to get up here?
You know, I have no idea. It all depends on my production, and all my intentions are to produce as best I can, and to obviously get to the big leagues as fast as possible and help the Twins out.
Good answer. Good answer. There's no, you can't say a year. You can't say 3
I don't
years.
know.
You hope that it's quicker than later.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Some guys are freaks and get through it less than a year, and some guys take some time. It just depends on your productivity.
You just called me a freak.
Maybe.
And he just met you. 2 strikes to Kepler. Grounded out to second his first time up. Missing inside, 1-2. Now, as a college player and a really good one, were you focused on the new analytics in baseball, launch angle, exit velocity, and all that?
I wouldn't say I was focused on it. It was definitely nice piece. It was definitely there. I use it as some, a little bit of the information I use. It's not like I was going up there and thinking I'm going to hit the ball at this launch angle at this speed, but it's definitely kind of like a answer the test, what you want to do in the game. But definitely don't try and go up there and do that. Just play the game.
Right.
Difference between the bats that you're going to be using now compared to college bats. Did you play in a wooden bat league at all?
Yeah. Both my summers I was playing for Oregon State. I played in the Cape Cod League, and that was wooden bat league, obviously. And, it takes about a week or 2 to transition from metal to wood, but I love wood. I love the sound of it. I love the feel of it. It's different than metal for sure, but I can't wait.
Jake Cave with 1 strike, and now another one hit to short left center field. He's got a double that direction, and now he's got a single in that direction. And that'll get Wilson to the plate with 2 out. What was your experience like in the Cape Cod League? What team did you play for?
I played 2 years there for the Falmouth Commodores, and it was probably some of the best summers of my life. The coaching staff and the players that were, I got to play with. It was amazing. My host family, the Ewell family, as I should mention them because they were vital in my experience, and it was amazing. They took care of me, and I had probably, like I said, some of the most fun in the summer, and it was definitely the 2 summers to remember.
I'm sure a lot of our fans have watched the show that Fox did on the Cape Cod League and how instrumental it is in so many major league players' careers. I wasn't aware of it until my son, who was a broadcaster in the Cape Cod League, how many scouts show up there. I mean, that's got to be or had to have been one of the revelations for you. You're out there way out back east, but a lot of scouts are watching every game.
Yeah, definitely. Every game there's, you're facing really good pitching, and all the competition is the best in college baseball for, the majority of it. And, obviously there's scouts there every game when you go there. Especially if you're a draft guy, it's going to be important for you. But, I was just focused on having fun out there because it's not as serious. When you go to Oregon State, it's pretty serious. You're playing to win a national championship, but the summer is where you have fun and you develop and just get to enjoy it.
Have fun in Elizabethtown.
Yeah, we're going to get serious now, young man.
No,
Trevor Larnach.
That's all right. We won a championship while I was serious.
Logan Morrison's opposite field home run, putting the Twins up 3-0. And Aaron Slegers has looked really good here tonight, giving up just a 2-out double to Machado in the first inning. He's walked a man, he's hit a man, he's had 2 1-2-3 innings. And now he'll face Jonathan Scope, Trey Mancini, and Caleb Joseph. Important that the Twins sign Trevor Larnach today because the deadline is tomorrow. And it'll be interesting to see how many #1 draft picks are not signed by tomorrow. There's a ball blasted to left. And Scope has just hit his 9th of the year into the second deck.
Yeah, fastball in, and Scope opened up. And it made it a 3-1 ball game. That ball got out of here in a hurry.
It was still climbing when it hit the seats. Wow. Disappointing year for Scope, hitting just over 200, but his 9th home run of the year makes it 3-1.
Well, I think everybody in the Oriole organization, after last year, what he was able to do, 32 home runs last year, drove in 105. They were looking for another season like that from Scope. Connects sharply on that one.
Down and away to Mancini. Everybody knows the drill. Slegers looking for his first major league win. He needs to complete 5 innings with the lead to do that. Pitching to the bottom third of the Oriole lineup. And he's misfired twice now to Slegers, or to Mancini, 2-0.
Pitch count still good at 55 pitches. So you're going to make mistakes. It's how you come after that mistake. Get back into the strike zone.
3-0. Joseph on deck. And there's a strike on the outside corner. We've appreciated the fact that Slegers is a quick worker. Doesn't dilly-dally out there at all. Tapper foul, 3-2.
Well, I'm all in on the clock up here as far as a 20-second clock, 25-second clock, whatever they decide on, because a lot of these young kids that come up, we saw it from Fernando Romero too when he came up. You know, you have that clock, you have to release that ball a certain amount of time.
Hit well to left. Rosario gets turned around, plays the carom, and he plays it well and holds Mancini to a single.
That's a nice defensive play right there by Rosario. Realized that the ball was over his head, so now he has to angle his body. Where's the carom gonna go? And he played it perfectly, got it back in, and Mancini could only hold up at first. Mayer hands it, gets it back in.
So a runner at first, still nobody out, and now Caleb Joseph. He lined out to Kepler his first time up. Popped up short center field. Long run for Cave. He gets there one away. Sanford Health injury report. One of the reasons the Twins are where they are compared to where they were last year. They've yet to have a pitch thrown by their ace from a year ago. Irvin Santana pitched 4 innings, 3 hits, couple of earned runs. Retired the last 9 batters. That was for the Fort Myers club. Haven't gotten word yet as to his velocity. That's kind of important for Irvin. He has had a tough time throwing past 90 miles per hour. Strike called to Tim Beckham. And I think Twins fans and Paul Molitor saw what happened to Phil Hughes once the velocity came off. And you'd like to see Irvin show a little more zip on his fastball. Maybe that will come in time. Ground ball to second. How many can they get? 1 and 2, a double play. Slegers gives up the home run to Scope, but then gets a double play grounder, and it's 3-1. Twins leading 3-1, and Joe Mauer takes a strike from Andrew Cashner.
Twins would like to get that run back that Orioles put on the board in the top of the inning. Answer right away.
Fouled away, 2 strikes. Mauer, Rosario, and Dozier here in the Twins' 5th. Joe 0 for 2, a grounder to second, and a liner to Jones in center field. Missing inside. One and 2 to left. Mancini makes a nice running catch toward the line. Second line drive out for Mauer, 1 away, and that'll bring up Rosario. Pepsi fans of the game on this gorgeous night at Target Field.
There you go. You were hereby circled.
Adoption Day. 1 down, and here's Rosario. Slapped an RBI single to left his first time up, or his second time up, I should say. Strike on the outside corner. Limited action in both leagues. Texas leading Detroit at Comerica Park 7-3 in the 5th inning. Ron Gardenhire, who had to leave the ball game early yesterday because of the heat at Wrigley Field, was not in the dugout early on again tonight. Gardy just dehydrated and dealing with what the Twins dealt with at Wrigley Field. 2-1 to Rosario. And now 3-1 with Dozier on deck.
I was talking to Bobby Wilson before the ball game. Of course, you know, he was taken out of the ball game in that series in Chicago, and he was talking about the heat, and he said, you know, Bert, he says, I caught in Texas. That's hot down there, but he said, I've never experienced what the guys had to go through in that Cubs series.
Eddie Rosario came out in the middle of an inning. Max Kepler made it to the end of an inning and then became ill.
Yeah, Adrianza, I believe, was also hurting. A lot of players were, but
3-2 to Rosario with 1 out in the 5th.
Not here tonight. Beautiful.
Tap to the right side, foul. '75th pitch coming up for Andrew Cashner. 3 runs, 1 of them unearned so far against Cashner. And fouled over the Oriole dugout.
Cashner first came up with the Cubs when he was a #1 pick by the Cubs back in 2008 out of Texas Christian University in Fort Worth, Texas. Came up in 2010. Also pitched for the Padres, the Marlins, and then last year for the Texas Rangers.
High foul fly. It will spin back into the seats. Talked about the Orioles situation and how fluid it all could be. The field staff, the players, the front office. They've got a tough chore ahead of them because of all the good young players that the Red Sox and Yankees have. Another foul ball. Look at Scope, who might be the building block for the Orioles if they trade Machado. Appears to be a little chance that they'll re-sign Machado.
I think you're looking at Mancini out in left field too. There's a lot of changes that are going to be made in Baltimore.
Hit hard to center field. This is hit to the bullpen. Jones going back, and he glides and makes the catch on the warning track. A couple of lineouts here in the 5th inning against Cashner. 2 down. Dozier will hit. But first, Twins fans, if you can't catch the games on TV, stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go, presented by Coors Light. Download the app, take Fox Sports North and Twins baseball wherever you go. 2 down, and now Dozier struck out in the first, hit a fly ball to left in the third. You know, the Yankees and Red Sox are both on a pace to win over 100 ball games. But in the case of both teams, mainly the Yankees, they're doing so well with good young players. Severino on the pitching side, Aaron Judge, Gleyber Torres, and Duhar. I mean, these are not long in the tooth veterans that, you know, won so many world championships with the Yankees, you know, 15 years ago. So the Yankees are going to be good for a while. The Red Sox are going to be good for a while with Betts and Bogarts and that young crew. A little bit low. And it's 2-2. So if you're the Rays, the Blue Jays, and the Orioles, you're going to be looking up at those two teams for a good long while, or so it appears. Nope, it caught the corner. And Dozier's out on strikes. And Cashner has a 1-2-3 fifth inning.
With hashtag Hats Off for Heroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
It's been a good opener for the Twins so far. They lead at 3-1. We go to the 6th inning. Aaron Slegers has given up just 3 hits. A leadoff home run in the 5th to Scope, the only damaging hit. And now he'll face Jones, Machado, and Trumbo in the 6th with a good pitch count. Hit to Dozier on the other side of second base. 1 pitch, 1 away. Jones is retired. That'll bring up Machado. The 2018 Camping World MLB All-Star Ballot is now open and exclusively online. Make sure that Eddie Rosario gets there, Eduardo Escobar, and other Twins, your favorite Twins. You can vote at twinsbaseball.com/vote up to 5 times per day. And today is the last day. It ends, the voting does, at 10:59 Central. You can catch all the excitement of the 89th MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard July 17th, live on Fox. Fastball, and I think even from the center field camera you can see the movement, the sink on Slegers' fastball. It's a breaking ball off of Wilson's mitten.
You know,
Slegers called a strike. I'm not.
Slager's making only his 4th major league start. I think we have to also give a credit a lot to the catchers too that catch these young guys like Slager's. I don't see him shaking off Wilson at all.
Well, they work together in Rochester.
Yep.
Check swing and they'll look and get ball 1.
That's exactly where Wilson wanted that ball. You saw him get out of his crouch position and give to that high target, and that fastball was right there.
2-2. Dribbled, and Slegers will make the play and throw him out. So the big guy bounced off the mound, made a nice fielding play.
Well, that was a breaking ball that's supposed to be down and away, up and in, but he made the play, got the second out. Nice play.
2 down here in the 6th. Let's go to Audra Martin.
Guys, our big story is a big home run off the bat of Joey Gallo earlier tonight in Detroit. It came the top of the 2nd and went a whopping 453 feet for his 2nd longest home run of the season. On top of that, it had an exit velocity of 111.5 miles per hour. He now has 12 home runs this season with an exit velocity of at least 110 miles an hour. No surprise, that leads all of Major League Baseball. That's home run number 21 on the season for Gallo, guys.
Yeah, you're going to give him up. Give him up like that. They'll talk about that for a while.
Ryan Presley getting loose with 2 down in the 6th. Gallo's also got a batting average of about 200.
But when he does make contact.
Well, I'd say that about a lot of guys.
Oh, yeah.
Swing and a miss. 1-1 to Trumbull.
Yeah, 70 pitches for Aaron Slegers. 45 strikes. Very good strike to ball ratio.
Way outside. To center. Cave back on the track. Makes the catch. Another 1-2-3 inning for Aaron Slegers. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the Twin Cities. By Grant Casino, the best stories start here. And by Wisconsin Dells, the water park capital of the world. I think Aaron Slegers is done, and boy, did he give the Twins a good outing. 1 run allowed over 6 innings. Escobar lined it foul. And it got the first base umpire. I believe that's Nick Marley, a call-up umpire, and he just got smoked.
Now you're already, you see where Marley is at, trying to get out of the way, ends up hitting him in the thigh, it looked like.
There's a high fly to right center field. Valencia, Jones converge, and actually they don't converge at all because Jones slammed on the brakes. Let Valencia have it, one away. And that'll bring up Logan Morrison, who lined out to right, and then he hit a liner to left that kept on going. StatCast powered by AWS. Exit velocity of over 105 to the opposite field. That's pretty impressive.
Very impressive. Morrison, very strong individual. Well, he got a fastball away and just went with it. Made it a 3-1 ball game. 3-0 at the time. Now it's a 3-1 game.
And a strike. 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Morrison has seen this shift or something very similar to it almost all year long. Fouled back. Twins regularly during the Eric Thames at bats in Milwaukee had a 4-man outfield. I mean, spread equally in the outfield. They took the third baseman and put him in left field, swung everybody around. I think we'll see more and more of that as the intelligence in baseball gets more detailed as to what a hitter does. Earlier it was Presley, and now Addison Reed getting loose. Swung on and missed. 2 away.
Cashner.
Polanco.
Cashner picking up his 3rd strikeout.
FIFA World Cup quarterfinals kick off tomorrow on FS1. First, Pogba and teen sensation Mbappe lead France against Uruguay. Then Neymar and Brazil battle Belgium. The World Cup quarterfinals starting at 8 a.m. Central on FS1, or stream all the action live on the Fox Sports app. Again, I appreciate the phonetic spellings for these soccer players. Polanco with a double in 2 trips. And foul. Nice catch. Young man brought his glove.
Yep. A lefty at that.
Two strikes. And now a ball. This was pretty nice. Just over the netting.
Ball extremely hard, and you see the lefty reach up. Nice catch. High fives all around, especially the people behind him. That ball was smoked.
2-2. Slanger's got 18 outs tonight, in position perhaps for his first major league win. Good job by Polanco protecting the plate. Up and away. Good take. 3-2. No walks issued by Cashner. At least not yet. Kepler on deck. And there's his first walk. Kepler will have a chance with a 2-out walk to Polanco.
He's only had one outing where he has not issued a walk, so there's a walk. 41 walks in 96 innings pitched now.
Kepler hit the ball hard his last time up, lining out to the center fielder Jones. Hunter McDowell, the pitching coach, Joseph, the catcher, and the corner infielders come in. First half for Buck Showalter.
For Buck Showalter, his 9th season as Orioles manager, his 20th season as a major league manager. Managed the Yankees, the Rangers.
Tanner Scott getting loose. Polanco dives back. He kind of spun his wheels a little bit trying to dive back to the bag. I mentioned it, I think, yesterday. Polanco 13 steals last year. Got a pretty good lead of 12 feet. And a throw. Right in front of Kepler after taking ball 1.
Joseph, pretty good arm behind the plate. You can see him reach out, and then kind of the way he caught that ball, he kind of went to the right field or right-handed hitter's batter's box so he could throw that ball around Kepler.
And the first base umpire got out of the way this time, darting into fair territory. And we believe that's Nick Marley. Call up umpire. What if I got a bullseye on my back? Well, they say that's Vic Carapazza, so we apologize for the misidentification. Polanco successful in his only stolen base attempt so far this year, but again, this is just his 4th game. Whoop. Safe at first, with it appearing that he got caught leaning. And the Orioles will take a look at that.
Getting that right hand on the bag, looked like he is safe. Davis receiving the ball. Got the underarm of Polanco, but I believe he got the right fingers on the bag.
There will be no challenge. That's hit well to the corner and left. Mancini chasing it. He's not going to get there. And it bounces into the crowd. No, it's still in play. And they're going to send the runner. And Polanco will score. I think that part might be challenged because it looked like the ball cleared the fence, hit the railing, and then bounced back. And so it should be an automatic double. And Polanco should be sent back to third base. That's what Adam Jones is saying. That's 2 bases for not only the hitter, but for the runner as well.
I'll take a look at the pitch away. Good hitting by Kepler right there over the head of Mancini. Gets off the warning track. Yeah, that ball looked like it went over the fence. Yep. It hit the railing and then came back.
Went over the flowers. So Buck Showalter will ask the umpires to confer. Now they should be able to challenge this and replay it. Look at it on replay rather than just simply confirm. And this is not a challenge. This won't be charged as a challenge. This is a crew chief review, much like a home run would be. So they'll look at it and they'll see what we just showed you, that the ball left the playing field and should be ruled an automatic double. So a crew chief review will probably send Polanco back out of the dugout to third base.
A tough break for the Twins right there. That ball hits on the wall and stays in play. Polanco for sure scores from first base.
Cave, who already has 2 hits, will likely come up with 2 men in scoring position.
So you hit the warning track and putting up 2 fingers.
So they will send Polanco back to third base. He's got to get out of the dugout. And there he goes. Again, the distinction between a managerial challenge and a crew chief review. This was a crew chief review. And Cave will be intentionally walked to fill the bases and get Wilson to the plate.
I think you have to credit Jones. You have to credit the Orioles for noticing that, because I didn't think that Jordan Baker, the third base umpire, he didn't really know he was watching the play. So the players themselves were pointing that ball went over the fence for a ground rule double.
Good opportunity for Bobby Wilson to end a long hitless streak and break the game open a bit here. 0 for 2 today, although he pushed a ground ball to the right side that would have gotten Cave from second to third after the first out. And he takes a strike on the outside corner. The Orioles botched the play. Twins got a couple of runs because of it. One strike to Wilson. And 2 strikes.
Good slider right there by Cashner.
Bases full of Twins. 2 strikes to Wilson. 1 and 2.
Joseph again creeping over.
Hey.
Fastball up and in.
94, neck high. 2-2.
See Joseph sitting away, but that 2-seamer came running back in on Wilson.
And off the end of the bat foul. Still 2-2.
He hung a breaking ball right there. Wilson way out front.
And now 3-2. Wilson laid off the breaking ball. Runners will go with 2 outs.
Good speed on the base pass.
They're all running. Dribble to the right side, slowly hit, scope, flips, and the Twins leave the bases full. Onto the 7th, 3-1 Minnesota.
Some of the Twins, Rosario right there, make it at a 2-0 ball game. With a single. Morrison's home run made it a 3-0 Twins lead. That after 4 innings, a home run by the Orioles. Scope getting a home run, but great job by Aaron Slegers. 6 innings, 3 hits allowed, 1 walk, a couple strikeouts, 272 pitches, 47 for strikes. Looking for, again, you mentioned it, Dick, his first major league win. See if the bullpen can hold on to this lead.
And the Twins with a 3-1 lead will now hand the ball to Addison Reed to face Davis, Valencia, and Scope.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a problem for Reed over the last couple 2-3 weeks. Worked a couple times in Milwaukee, a total of 1 inning and 2 outings, gave up a hit. He's really had a tough time against left-handed hitters, hitting .360 off of them.
And he'll face Chris Davis, a slumping left-handed hitter. 0 for 2, sent Cave to the wall in right center field, his first time up, swing and a miss.
That's the pitch that Reed needs to implement into his routine a little bit more, the changeup. He's got the hard fastball, good movement, hard slider. There's a slider right there. But everything's hard.
2 strikes to Davis. Pulled foul. One of the reasons everyone is assuming Machado will be traded because the Orioles can't afford him because of the contract they signed with Davis. They still owe him over $100 million. Signed through 2022. And a line drive hit to Morrison, 1 away. The bullpen, like every other facet of the Twins team on the road trip, had some good moments and some bad moments.
The ERA, you can see it in the White Sox, not bad. Cubs, very high, and then they did a better job against the Brewers.
The field and weather conditions just made it advantageous for the hitters at Wrigley Field for both teams. Twins scored plenty of runs, but still didn't win a ball game. Valencia takes ball 1. Valencia with a liner to Dozier and a ground ball to third. Fouled back. Checked his swing and took a strike. Breaking ball off the end of the bat. Dozier going back and makes a nice catch with his back to the infield. Like he literally caught it with both hands extended. 2 down.
Nice reaction by Brian Dozier. Earlier in the ballgame, I talked about the first couple steps that a player has to get right there. Brian Dozier going straight back and using his glove and his right hand to make a nice running catch.
2 down, and now Jonathan Scope launched a solo home run leading off the 5th inning. That's the only Oriole run so far. Scope emerged. You talked about his numbers of a year ago, but now his numbers are suffering because the supporting cast is not what it was a year ago for the Orioles. Swing and a miss.
Now, he spent some time, almost a month, on a disabled list, right oblique strain back in the middle of April. But he's healthy and just has not produced.
1 and 2.
Not a very good swing at that slider. Remember, the fastball that he hit for the home run was middle in. He really opened up quick. I'm sure it's going to be another something away, and Wilson creeping away.
Breaking ball taken. 2-2.
Another slider.
Full count. Mancini on deck.
Scope, part of our team with the WBC, the World Baseball Classic, out of Curacao. Good player.
Tap. Foul.
With a 3-2 slider.
Reed trying to put together a 1-2-3 relief inning. Another one beaten foul.
No free passes here. Make them swing the bat.
Moving to left. Rosario chasing it. That ball's gone. A home run for Scope. 2 solo home runs for the Baltimore second baseman, and it's 3-2.
Yeah, like another slider, and Scope showing off his strength and hitting it into the bullpen.
Home runs 9 and 10 today, and it's a 1-run ball game.
Well, Reed stayed with that slider. That ball just hung. You could see Wilson wanted that pitch down and away.
Really didn't do much of anything, did it?
Almost the way that his follow through was almost like a splitter, maybe a changeup.
Replay brought to you by Carrier. And here's Mancini in a 1-run game, ball 1. And now a strike.
Home runner out loud by Reed, his 7th home run he's allowed. Out of the bullpen.
2-1. Trevor Hildenberger getting loose. To right. Kepler back, feeling for the wall, making the catch right in front of the fence. Well played by Max Kepler. The Orioles get 1, but the Twins still lead by 1. course, 20,000 fans get those Twins flash caps that change color when the light hits it. Go to twinsbaseball.com/tickets to learn more. Well, it's a one-run ball game, and now Joe Mauer will lead off the Twins' 7th inning. And we'll get our first look at the Oriole bullpen, starting with Tanner Scott.
Yeah, Tanner Scott, just 23 years old, signed by the Orioles in 2014. A September call-up last year, making his 22nd relief appearance. 4 stints up and down between AAA and the Orioles this year. Very high ERA.
Mauer 0 for 3. He's hit 2 lineouts his last 2 times up. One to Jones in center, the other to Mancini in left. And a first pitch strike.
Yeah, Scott with a fastball in the upper 90s, slider and a changeup.
And strike 2.
There's a slider right there.
Three left-handed relievers for the Orioles, including Zach Britton, who's on the tradable list as well, one would think, before the end of the month. And Mauer on 3 pitches strikes out, 1 away. See many 3-pitch strikeouts of Joe Mauer. 1 down.
Yeah, almost like a little cutter right there, outer half of the plate that Joe swings through. Hard slider, 92 miles an hour.
Here is Rosario, an RBI single, a ground out, and a line out. And Rosario tried to drop down a bunt, but he missed it. Strike 1.
See, that to me right there is a good try by Rosario right there with the third baseman Beckham playing basically where the shortstop is. Now he's got to creep in a little bit. But these shifts are going to continue until guys start dropping that ball down there.
Or showing some bat control. You know, there's some talk that baseball should outlaw shifts, and I don't understand why you would punish a defending team for putting their defenders where a hitter can hit the ball.
I agree.
And Rosario on 3 pitches, 2 down.
6 pitches, 2 strikeouts.
Dozier will bat, but first let's hear from Audra Martin.
Guys, poor Eddie Guardado. He seems to be at the center of a lot of Twins practical jokes. And the latest was today when the pitching staff showed up to the ballpark wearing Mexico World Cup jerseys. Midfielder Andres Guardado happens to also wear number 18, so naturally a lot of people have been asking if the two of them are related. And Eddie usually says that he can neither confirm nor deny, and that's simply because he just doesn't know, but he's determined to look into his family history and find out for sure. But I also asked him, you know, in the meantime, does that mean that you are okay if people assume that you guys are related? And his answer was, oh heck yeah, because the more athletic Guardados there are in the world, the better, guys.
Well, at least there's one. I mean, anybody that knows Eddie Guardado, this is just a payback for all the stuff that he does.
It's a mental image that I can't get out of my head now. Eddie Guardado playing soccer.
There would be some pushing, I'll tell you that right now.
Hildenberger's ready. Dozier trying to prolong matters in the bottom of the 7th. 1-1 from Scott. That's off his foot. 1 and 2. Now you talked about Scott, and we've seen how difficult it can be for left-handed batters. He struck out Mauer and Rosario on 6 pitches, but conversely right-handers have hit him pretty hard to the tune of a .347 opponent batting average. One and 2. Half swing. And pretty good inning for Scott as he strikes out Bauer, Rosario, and Dozier.
Birds are flying into town. Join us Friday night when the Twins host the Baltimore Orioles. Our coverage begins Friday night at 6:30 right here on Fox Sports North.
4 games with the Orioles, starting with tonight's game where the Twins have a 3-2 lead, but now we move to the 8th inning. And Trevor Hildenberger will come in to try to keep this a 3-2 ball game.
Well, I think what we've seen, we saw Addison Reed in the 7th inning, and now in the 8th inning, it's been kind of a switch of roles. Now Hildenberger has to pitch the 8th inning and kind of save the game, hopefully for Fernando Rodney. But Hildenberger has been outstanding. He had one hiccup, that outing in Chicago. Other than that, his last 18 appearances, 17 scoreless appearances.
There's Caleb Joseph. That's Chance Cisco hitting. First pitch, he rolls it on the ground to Dozier, and Cisco's retired, 1 away. One down in the 8th. Are you game for a little excitement? Head to foxsportsnorth.com to submit a photo and message for the opportunity to be featured in the Minnesota Lottery Winner's Circle during our broadcast and receive $100 in scratch tickets. With the Minnesota Lottery, every day is game day. One down, and now Tim Beckham.
Hildenberger's been outstanding. Opponents coming in hitting only .213 off of him. Right-handers .224, lefties .192. Changes speeds well from down under.
Breaking ball and strike 2. Well,
yeah, I've been watching, even though I've been gone, I'm watching Hildenberger. Haven't really seen him come over the top much
not as
anymore.
much, you're right.
Yeah.
Word gets out, and hitters might be anticipating it a little bit. Ahead 0-2.
Good changeup right there.
And Hildenberger, as we said in Milwaukee, he's exhibit A for how stifling the heat was in Chicago. The guy's a strike thrower. He's walked only 12 men all year, 4 of them in that one outing at Wrigley Field when the heat index was about 110.
And he gave up 5 runs. So you can see Beckham way out front, just got a piece of it to keep the bat alive.
2 strikes to Beckham. Way out in front and a strikeout, 2 down.
Beckham striking out for the 2nd time in a ball game, and Hildenberger picking up strikeout number 36 in 41 2/3 innings. So another off-speed pitch, great sink on that.
What are you supposed to do with that with 2 strikes? I mean, this comes in looking like it's at the knees, and then it drops halfway to the ground. 2 down, and now Adam Jones 0 for 2 with a walk. Hildenberger trying to pick up a hold here in the 8th inning. Ooh. Hildenberger just missed with the first offering. Jones 1-0. And now a fastball, 2-0. Brad Brock warming up for the Orioles. Threw him a 2-0 changeup. Two and 1 to Adam Jones. Fouled away 2-2.
Well, again, Jones, a guy that, you know, he doesn't walk much. He wants to go up there and hit the ball. He's walked only 10 times all season long. This is his 82nd game played. He has struck out 58 times in 337 at bats. So he's up there swinging.
Two and 2. There he went over the top. And a foul ball.
I think I'd like to see Trevor, when he does that, not always on 2 strikes, just kind of, you know, maybe get strike 1 on that fastball.
Right.
Now back underneath.
And a ball hammered into the corner. It'll be an extra base hit, and that'll get Machado to the plate with the tying run in scoring position. So, yeah, Jones got the double on that off-speed pitch, but then he was able to foul off the overhand fastball, kept the at-bat alive.
Well, this breaking ball just stayed up right here. Don't know if it was a changeup. Take a look right here. Yeah, changeup stayed middle in, and Jones opening up and lining it into the corner in left field. His 21st double of the year.
Machado doubled in the first. A couple of ground balls have followed.
I think we said at the beginning of the game that, what, 40% of the Orioles hits have been extra base hits, if I remember right. 5 hits, 2 home runs, 2 doubles, and 1 single so far for the Orioles.
1-0 to Machado. Trumbo is on deck. First base is open, but of course, putting Machado there would put the go-ahead run on base.
You don't want to make a mistake right here.
Two and 0.
See, Paul, go ahead and walk him.
And they'll go ahead and put him aboard.
Take your chances with Trumbo.
And Machado now will be intentionally walked. And mentioned that there have been 12 walks by Hildenberger. This now the 13th. 6 of them now have been intentional walks. Tiny Twins baseball camps are the perfect summer camp for kids ages 3 to 5. Campers will learn the basic fundamentals of baseball. Each camper will receive a Tiny Twins t-shirt and Twins tickets. Learn more and register today at twinsbaseball.com/training.
See, I think this is a good move. They fell behind 2-0. You don't want to make a mistake to the RBI leader for the Orioles, Machado. Go ahead and put him at first. Now you got a fresh batter. Puts a little added pressure on Hildenberger, and hopefully he can respond.
First pitch over for a strike. Trumbo still dangerous. 11 home runs. Didn't play in the first series the Twins played against the Orioles in Baltimore. On the disabled list back then.
Yeah, back right oblique strain at that time.
1 strike to Mark Trumbo.
Excuse me, he had a right quad strain coming out of spring training.
1 strike to Trumbo.
Another good changeup. Trumbo way out front. Game on the line right here. Hildenberger ahead in the count. Great placement of that changeup.
0-2 to Mark Trumbo. Went over the top to try to get Jones a few moments ago with 2 strikes. Got him with another changeup. 78, 77, and then backed it down to 74 miles per hour.
Here's a look at what's coming your way after the game on Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink. The Twins were hoping when they recalled Aaron Slagers, he'd deliver some length out on the mound in his start, and he did just that. We'll take a look at that 1-run, 6th-inning performance. We'll also break down how opposite field was a big part of the Twins' offense tonight against the Baltimore Orioles, and we'll head into the clubhouse to hear from Paul Molitor. That's all coming your way next after the game, guys.
All right, it's a 1-run ball game. See if the Twins can add some insurance here in the 8th inning, starting with Eduardo Escobar, who takes strike 1 from Brad Brock.
Yeah, Brock, an all-star a couple of years ago for the Orioles. This year making his 35th relief appearance. 0-2, 3.62 ERA. Strikeout pitcher. His average is strikeout per outing or inning. 32 1/3 innings, 33 strikeouts, 17 walks though. Brock in his 5th season with the Orioles.
Cisco stays in the game to catch. Dribbled back toward the mound. Brock has plenty of time and makes the play 1 away.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins, LLC.
1 down, and now Logan Morrison. Took the ball hard a couple of times, lining out to the right fielder in the 2nd inning, and then homering to left in the 4th. That run, the 3rd run for the Twins, is the difference in the game. Swing and a foul.
Brock at 6'6", came up with the Padres in 2011, spent 3 seasons with them in his 5th season now with the Orioles.
Tapped foul.
Might be that split finger he has. What a fastball. Mid-90s, well, 93, 94. Slider, split finger.
Fernando Rodney getting ready for a save situation. Two strikes to Morrison. Half swing. Did he go? Nope. Because of his many years of success and his health, I would think that Brad Brock might be one of the more desirable Orioles for a contending team. He's been good for a long while. They're now 2-2.
You know, with the draft not too long ago, you talked about the #1 pick that we had, Trevor, here. You know, Brock was a 42nd round pick, so sometimes you don't know what you're going to get.
Another line drive off the bat of Morrison, and lands safely for a 1-out single.
That's a good piece of hitting right there by Morrison. Looked like a sinking fastball down and away. Picks up his second hit.
Partial season ticket packages are now available in the Delta Sky 360 Club. You can become a Twins season ticket holder today. Become part of the Sweet Spot program. Learn more at twinsbaseball.com or call 800-33-TWINS. Polanco has reached twice tonight, a double in the second and a walk in the sixth. Taken low, ball one. One thing that we've noticed about Polanco, and yeah, just a handful of at-bats, but he hasn't seemed jumpy at all, like he's trying to make up for lost times. You can imagine a player missing the first 80 games and then saying, you know, I got to start getting hits. Bunted foul, 1-1, but he's taken pitches, tried to work the count a little bit.
And a good effort right there by Polanco. We saw Rosario try to lay down a bunt last time, and Polanco, very good handler of the bat. Again, you know, the shift put on where the shortstop, Beckham, the third baseman, playing basically a shortstop. You see Beckham backpedaling right there.
One and one. That's in front of the plate, and an easy play for Cisco. Looked at second. Morrison gets there. And now Polanco retired for the second out, and that'll give Kepler a chance. Kepler with a couple of well-hit balls here tonight. A line out in the fourth, and an opposite field double in the sixth. Swung on and miss.
That's that split finger right there.
A stop by Chance Cisco. 1-1. Strike taken 1 and 2. On the ground, base hit right field. Morrison will round third. Valencia charges. The throw is not in time. And Kepler delivers a big 2-out RBI hit.
That is a huge RBI right there by Max Kepler. His 30th run batted in. And with 2 outs, of course, Morrison at second base, off with a crack of the bat. And he scores the 4th run of the ball game. Now a 2-run lead for the Twins.
Kepler looking over his left shoulder, wanted to make sure that Morrison was going to be able to score. He does, and now Cave, who's reached all 3 times in tonight's game and has also played well in the field, will come up with Kepler at first and 2 down. Morrison's 1-out single, leading eventually to a Twins run. 1-1. One and one to the Twins center fielder. That's hit well to the gap again. Jones chasing it. He's not going to get it as Cave gets another extra base hit to the opposite field. Kepler will score and the Twins lead by 3. What a night for Jake Cave.
The strength that this young man has right here, Jake Cave. Saw him in his first at bat take a pitch away into that gap, and right here, good swing, off speed pitch at 87 miles an hour. Great swing right there over the head of Jones. Kepler scores from first base. So Cave with his second double, picking up his 8th run batted in.
Couple of big 2-out hits for the Twins and insurance runs for Rodney.
You like to see that.
More importantly, I think, insurance runs for Aaron Slegers. Slegers can get his first big league win here unless the Orioles come all the way back from 3 down. Bobby Wilson will bat. 2 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, and now 2 here in the 8th for the Twins. Strike 1. Swing and a miss, 2 strikes. Cave at second with 2 down. Fouled over the Twins dugout.
Well, I mentioned it earlier. You know, I think Bobby Wilson, he's not going to give you much offensively, but what he brings is his experience of handling a pitching staff. And I thought he did a great job of handling Slegers for the 6 innings he was out there.
And on the outside corner, Wilson doesn't necessarily agree, but the Twins had 2 in the bottom of the 8th. change has been somebody other than Eddie Rosario and Eduardo Escobar.
Yeah.
It's been Lance,
Logan
Morrison, and Jake Cave.
Yeah, and Max Kepler got a couple big hits. Good to see.
And Aaron Slaggers peering over everybody else, looking out on the field, hoping that the next 3 outs will secure his first big league win.
Well, Fernando Rodney looking for save number 18 on the year, and I'll tell you what, those 2 runs were huge because Rodney has struggled over his last couple outings. 2 blown saves, one in Chicago and the other in Milwaukee.
In each case, an inning pitched and 3 outs recorded, but 3 batters reached. Here's Davis. Strike 1, and what a comfort it is to pitch to this slugger knowing that the lead is 3 and not 1. 1 strike. Missed inside with a fastball. Rodney has said he hasn't had a good feel for his changeup in his last couple of outings, but you look back on the outings.
Good
There's a changeup right there.
Yep.
You look back at the outings, and the changeups he got hurt on were off the plate outside. The ones he's thrown in the strike zone, he's gotten away with. There's a good one down.
Yeah, it had some movement on it.
1-2. That's hit hard to the left field corner, but foul. Davis made a bid for an extra base hit in the 4th inning, but Jake Cave went to the wall, timed his leap perfectly, and took at least a double away from him.
Good change up there.
1 away.
You know, talk about defense, about Cave's catch, but I think, you know, at the beginning of the show, talked about what's the importance of the Pizza Hut or Pizza Ranch for the win. It needed good defense, tighten the defense up, and we've seen that today. Rosario playing that carom off the wall off of Mancini's bat. Saw Kepler make a nice catch. Dozier showed you Jake Cave's catch. There's Kepler's nice catch against the wall. Yeah, well played game so far for the Twins.
Valencia takes down and in, ball 1. Valencia 0 for 3. A line out to Dozier, a ground out, and a pop up. Tapper to third. Chest high hop for Escobar. 2 down. And our Century Link, what's next? Dylan Bundy, just off the disabled list, will start for the Orioles, and Lance Lynn hoping to rebound from one of the worst starts of his career against the Cubs.
Yeah, Bundy definitely, I think, the future ace of the Orioles. We hope that he can stay healthy. And Lynn, you're right. Getting a 2/3 bad outing against the Cubs. Wants to rebound tomorrow night.
Scope has hit 2 solo home runs. That's the extent of the Oriole production in terms of runs. One and 0. Fastball zipped inside. 2-0.
Aaron Slaggers looking for his first major league win.
The Twins 6 very good innings. And now 3-0. Strike call.
And you got to pump these fastballs right down the middle of the plate. No free passes.
Right. Rodney's blown save against the White Sox was due more to control than anything else. Couple of walks, a hit batter after the second out. Twins ended up winning that ball game in 13 innings. and now 3-2. Got it. A strikeout of Scope. The Twins win the opener, and Aaron Slegers has his first big league win.
Yeah, congratulations, Aaron. May there be many more.
And Anthony LaPanta just what the Twins needed. A well-pitched ball game. Some clutch hits along the way. Some tidy defense. And they played a much better ball game here at home than they did at all at any time on the last road trip.
2 hours and 29 minutes. Yes.
And as Bird has always preached, solo home runs cannot beat you. The Orioles hit 2 of them, but that's all they got. Twins win at 5-2. We'll look at a good start from Slegers here today. Showed you how the Twins offense took advantage of the opposite field. And hear from Paul Molitor next on Twins Live.